going on, guys? It's Cynical. Welcome back to another video. Today for you guys, I absolutely need to talk about my most anticipated game for 2023. It's something that I have been looking forward to for a little while now, and I'm sure like quite a few of you guys are probably the same, and that is The Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Titty, mate. You guys probably weren't expecting me to say Tears of the Kingdom. I said Tears of the Titty, I meant Tears of the Kingdom. You were also probably thinking, alright, this man is like hyped and is dead set on Final Fantasy 16. Well, my fine fellow, my fine turkey, yes, 16 is pretty exciting. It's the next major numbered Final Fantasy title, and considering I am a big Square Enix fan, and I'm pretty big into the whole Final Fantasy side of things, even though I wouldn't really classify myself as a fan of the Zelda franchise, when I finally laid my goblin fingers onto Breath of the Wild, my good God Almighty, I will tell you, what a video gaming experience, man. What a video gaming experience! Breath of the Wild obviously did something quite incredible. It almost reinvigorated the open world formula. A formula by the point of 2017 was starting to become extremely stale. While open world games are obviously some of the most popular to this day, I don't think there's really ever been quite such a, I guess, drastic change in the way that you approach an open world game like you do with something like Breath of the Wild. And obviously, since Breath of the Wild's release, you know, a lot of games have taken inspiration from which, including the wildly successful Genshin Impact. Breath of the Wild has most certainly made a huge mark on the gaming industry, and even though I wasn't a Zelda fan, and I still wouldn't really consider myself to be a Zelda fan, specifically looking at Breath of the Wild, I have to say is one of the absolute best video games I think I have ever played, hands down, because like I don't have any Zelda history. I didn't grow up close to that of Nintendo consoles. Like, I really don't have any Zelda history. I even made a video back in 2019, because keeping in mind, by the way, that's when I finally finished Breath of the Wild, and that video is titled, Why Did I Sleep on Breath of the Wild for So Long? Now, I did pick up this game back in 2017 on launch day of all things, just because I know a lot of people are like, this is the next big thing for Nintendo. It's obviously the big major game to come out on Switch. I tried so desperately to get into this game at first. Probably about 9 to like 12 times I started a new game and never got my ass off the Great Plateau. It wasn't until 2019 where I decided, alright, let's start like my 13th or 12th or 11th playthrough and see what happens through years of people screaming, Jared! What are you doing? Stop playing that Disney game and play Breath of the Wild. You have to play it for more than 2 hours, dude. Come the on, what is wrong with you? So yeah, from years of being screamed at and saying, well, I've tried to play it, but I just can't get into it, I can't do it. I attempted to give it another go, and oh my god, like this game is, oh my god, it's just, oh my god, it's so good! It's almost as if like Nintendo extracted the dopamine from someone that is wildly on cocaine and somehow injected it into a cartridge, and there you go, there's Breath of the Wild. Like, just straight addiction. That is so good. Like, removing the whole Zelda thing, because again, I'm not a Zelda fan, just this as a plain and simple video game is an absolute masterpiece. So, looking at the sequel, it's now been 6 years. The game was supposed to come out last year. It has unfortunately received a delay, but now we aren't too far away. May 5th is when it comes out. I am so looking forward to this, just to kind of see, I guess, the evolution on the formula that was presented in the first game. Breath of the Wild's whole approach was that grand sense of adventure, and while there are so many open world games out there, they always have the slogan of go on a grand adventure and feel the sense of the adventure. I think really the only game that's really ever made me feel that way would probably be, of course, The Elder Scrolls, without a doubt. Pretty revolutionary open world games, you have to admit, but also Breath of the Wild and how different it was during the time compared to anything else on the market. The whole fact of there is no real kind of map marker type based questing things you have to do. This location, destroy an outpost. This location is like a little collectible thing. It's just more so adventure is progression, and really anything you do in the world is going to progress you forward. Doesn't matter which way you decide to go, which direction you want to take. It's all progression, baby. Beautiful! Beautiful! That is adventure! And Tears of the Kingdom is looking so good. I've seen obviously a lot of comments of people being like, it's the exact same Hyrule that was in the first game, and like, okay, it is to a certain degree. It's not the exact same, but it is still Hyrule, and a lot of those major locations that were obviously in the first game are going to be here for the second game. Obviously, Hyrule is facing some kind of corruption. Kind of looks like Ganon is back. Link 2 is also facing the same corruption, which is going to directly come into the whole gameplay side of things. That new gauntlet hand thing he has allows him to use some kind of phasing power, which that will obviously add to the puzzle solving when it comes to exploration. Due to the world of Hyrule being ruptured by what I think people are calling Malice corruption, again, I'm not a Zelda fan, I don't know the lore thick boy style, it means that the world has been torn apart, new locations have appeared. We can see in the recent trailer, there's now mushrooms all over the place. There's also a lot of new sky locations too. We've got the whole diving system here, which looks fucking awesome. Kind of looks like in regards to the sky locations that they're going to be more based around the actual platforming kind of side of things, and that you'll likely need a lot of stamina in order to traverse them. Also, it seems like an emphasis on vehicles is something this time around. There was obviously the bike within the DLC, but now it kind of seems like it might be like, I don't know, a Banjo-Kazooie nuts and bolts situation, maybe? Where you can actually craft your own vehicles? Whether or not you can actually craft them, I don't know. This thing looks like it's been put together with some fruit boxes, or with some nonsense. So, like, if that's the case, that's really cool. Especially with the way that people are actually able to use the physics of Breath of the Wild to come up with some absolutely ridiculous stuff, especially when looking towards the speedrunning side of things. It's going to be really interesting to see what exactly people can do with this whole new vehicle system. Also, the vehicle thing in itself kind of screams the fact that, will this world be even bigger than what was present in the first game? The shrines and the towers, they've now gone, but there will obviously be additional new locations through this new corruption, and also when looking towards all the sky locations too, that adds a whole nother sort of layer to exploration, ground and sky. So I'm assuming this game is going to be huge, especially because there is vehicles here now being able to be used for traversal. You know, I don't really think that Tears of the Kingdom needs to do too much to evolve, I guess, the formula that was already present within the first game, because again, even though there have been so many games that have tried to take away from the different things that Breath of the Wild first offered, still we haven't had a gaming experience, in my opinion, really anywhere near like it for any other game that has Breath of the Wild inspired features. So to get just a straight up another Breath of the Wild experience in itself, even if there isn't any evolution, which we can clearly see there is just exciting in itself. I cannot wait. Like, my brain is malfunctioning thinking about it, and this is coming from a person that is not a Zelda fan. I just love the way that Breath of the Wild did it, man. It was so good. And I think there really is a perfect example of such a masterpiece of a video game when it does attract people that don't have like any interest in the franchise prior, but because they've heard through word of mouth that the game is just so good, give it a go and find out, my god, is this good? For one, what an absolutely fantastic way to, I guess, sort of reinvigorate a franchise. Not that Zelda needed reinvigoration, but just to approach it differently, but screams the absolute quality of that game in hand. The only game that I think I have played since Breath of the Wild that has kind of given me that Breath of the Wild-esque adventure sense, the true adventure sense, would probably have to be Elden Ring. Elden Ring was fantastic by absolutely every single measure, and again, that is coming from someone that's not even a Souls fan. I just loved the way that From Software approached the open world in that game, that doesn't matter where you go, every direction you take will mean progression in some sense. Whether it be an item that you might just randomly come across through a boss that you were able to defeat with your current character level, can now get you past another area that you were once struggling with. Just the choice of, like if this part is too hard, I can come back when I am slightly stronger, and giving players that option of, okay, I'm sure if I just go off in this direction, I'm probably going to get stronger. I'll probably make some progression. Now, I actually do have some plans, I guess you could say, when looking at Tears of the Kingdom. As you guys know, I am trying throughout this year to do some other pieces of content in amongst the Kingdom Hearts stuff. And I really want to take Tears of the Kingdom as an opportunity to try branch out just a little bit. So I do plan on actually streaming my entire experience of this game live over on Twitch when it does release come May. I'll probably end up putting some of the VOD stuff up on YouTube as well for you guys who only watch the YouTube side of things. And yeah, I know this is going to be an absolutely massive game. Breath of the Wild I put well over 100 hours into, and it will be the exact same thing here with Tears of the Kingdom. So May's probably just going to be one big nerd out session for me over on Twitch. I hope some of you guys can join me, though likely case you'd probably be indulging in the game yourself. However guys, just thought I would geek nerd out about Tears of the Kingdom. I simply can't wait. The recent trailer, the third proper major trailer, just recently came out, and it looks simply fantastic. Obviously the full promotional cycle of the game is going to start now, forward through until May. I'm expecting some kind of deep dive thing to come out in the next kind of couple of months to maybe better explain some of the new systems and features, mechanics, etc. that will be present here in Tears of the Kingdom. So that's all exciting stuff to look forward to. Over the next few months, we'll have a better idea as to exactly what that new stuff is. Okay guys, that's all for today's video. Just wanted to talk about this. It's a good excuse to do so. New trailer dropped. Woohoo! Let me know your thoughts about Tears of the Kingdom in the comment section down below. I would absolutely love to know. However guys, I'm Cynical. Hopefully I'm on a fantastic day, and I'll catch you guys real soon. Peace.